The idea of being able to get around space as easily as we can get around in our cars is a dream many have grasped at, but none have achieved so far, although not for lack of trying. Elon, I'm looking at you. We've covered the so-called impossible drive several times on this channel, and according to some recent updates, it looks like it might really be impossible. The impossible drive, also known as the EmDrive, was originally conceptualized in the early 2000s. It's a form of hypothetical space travel that wouldn't require any fuel. The drive works, again hypothetically, by bouncing microwaves around a conical metal chamber. Conventionally, you need to push against the matter around you to move anywhere. That's how physics, as defined by Newton's third law of motion, works. You know, like the conventional rocket thrusters we have, that's how they work. This drive, were it to really function, would break our fundamental understanding of Newtonian physics. And for a hot second there, it looked like we may have measured the drive working. In 2016, a team of NASA researchers detected a tiny amount of thrust while testing the drive in a vacuum, although they were hesitant to attribute that thrust to anything except experimental error. And it turns out they may have been right. Research in this area has been largely underfunded up until this point because, as the name of the technology states, most people think it's quite literally impossible. But a research team in Germany just conducted an experiment with some seriously sick resources, like an extreme vacuum and specialized shielding. If the EmDrive worked, it would mean that space travel would be significantly faster and cheaper and more efficient. So who won? Physics or the impossible? Definitely physics. Physics still wins. These latest, most sophisticated tests concluded that the tiny amount of thrust that NASA's team detected in 2016 was most likely due to interaction of the metal drive with the Earth's magnetic field. Even though more teams around the world will probably continue to verify this work by conducting tests of their own, it would seem that for the most part, this spells RIP for the EmDrive dream. But just to cover all their space bases, the team also looked into a different kind of drive called the Mach Effect Thruster, whose concept assumes that if a mass vibrates enough, it interacts gravitationally with the rest of the universe. This drive, made out of a stack of piezoelectric crystals attached to a mass of brass, which is fun to say, showed a little more promise in tests from the German lab. The researchers still concluded that any thrust detected from these tests is most likely interference, or noise from the rest of the physical world interacting with the setup. So that's our latest update on the state of the EmDrive. A little disappointing that we won't all be jetting around space on vibrating crystals, but the researchers make a good point at the end of their paper, saying that these experiments were highly educational and that they required very demanding experimental conditions. And this may help them in testing further potentially transformative space drives. Humans, ever hopeful, experimenting our way into the future. Check out our previous videos on the EmDrive here, and subscribe to Seeker for all your space travel news. And hey, fun fact, the metal used to shield the EmDrive in this experiment is called mu metal, which creates a region containing only a tiny fraction of the Earth's magnetic field. And there was still interference. Damn. I'm Marin, thanks for watching Seeker.